In the field of investigation, it is said that information is only as reliable as its source. Robert Lazar's credibility is rather doubtful. But thanks to him, it became public knowledge that odd things were happening at Area 51. Several films were produced by amateurs near Groom Lake, showing bright objects performing aviation maneuvers that were out of the ordinary. Were these objects the byproduct of alien technology? Since the Groom Lake facilities were built in 1954 as a result of an agreement between the CIA and the Lockheed Aviation Corporation, they have been used to develop secret aircraft such as the U-2, the SR-71 Blackbird, and stealth aircraft such as the F-117A and the B-2 bomber. These days, with an increase in the use of unmanned aerial vehicles, or UAVs, aircraft capable of performing feats that are impossible for conventional aircraft, it's only natural for us to wonder about the objects seen over Area 51. The rumor still persists that the military secretly recovered an alien spaceship and used it to make technological advances. More radical statements were being made, especially in the early 1980s. According to authors such as Milton William Cooper and David Icke, aliens had been captured and assimilated into the human race in a much more gruesome scenario, in which the role of the U.S. Army went far beyond simply recovering a crashed UFO.
This story of an alien conspiracy linked to the American government and multinational corporations is just another piece to the puzzle. Conspiracy theorists believe that throughout the world, especially in the United States, underground alien bases exist with 5 or 6 levels, literally teeming with aliens. Allegedly, there are thousands of aliens living in these bases, and their only goal is to use humans, raising them like cattle for reproductive research, or interbreeding races to create aliens capable of living among humans without being noticed. I recently met individuals who were convinced of this theory. These people seem quite normal and friendly on the surface, but then they get into a state of extreme paranoia when they become convinced that the enemy is everywhere. In their minds, walls have ears, and we are being watched at all times. And worst of all, there has been an infiltration from outer space, with the consent of governments and major financial institutions throughout the world.
This partnership between aliens and the military is supposedly being overseen by covert groups such as Illuminatis and the Freemasons, whose vast financial resources are being used to set up a new world order. Luckily, this belief is only supported by militants who use UFOs as an excuse for inventing the worst scenarios possible. To them, any official story is nothing more than a smokescreen designed to cover up horrible conspiracies, from the existence of aliens to flu epidemics spread intentionally by multinational pharmaceutical companies in cohort with governments throughout the world.
The government has been involved with a kind of a cover-up, but the idea is that we know an awful lot about things that happen in the American government and in the Canadian government, of course. And particularly with the American government, it's very difficult to keep secrets if they become political footballs. The Clinton-Lewinsky case, the innermost secrets of their personal relationships were revealed to the entire world. And all sorts of other secrets have come forward. And yet at the same time, it is said that if the government is keeping a secret about UFOs, this is the best kept secret ever, because we will hear something about the subject once in a while and then nothing, and it's all sort of kept under wraps. Well, in my opinion, and I'm in a minority of researchers about this, I believe that if the government was studying this subject and had mounted an enormously huge study, which they would have to, if they knew that there was something to this subject, they would expend a tremendous amount of resources studying it. And it would be for half a century. that we would know this. We would, in fact, know this. There would be generations of scientists who work on the subject, and generations and generations and generations of politicians through 11 different presidential administrations who have worked on it. And it would be expanding almost in a cone-like effect, more and more people becoming involved with it, and we'd know it. Now, the problem with conspiracy theories is that there is no such thing as deniability. Every time the government says, no, it's not true, that becomes evidence of the cover-up. So it's not falsifiable, as they say. You can't ever prove it's not happening. Everything is in service of the conspiracy. So I caution my colleagues to be extremely careful with this.